my overall theme for the second episode, I really think this is the episode, or maybe the season, perhaps, where we're realizing that it may just be better for people just to be single. Hey, what's going on, folks? Another episode of Just My Opinion with Ryan. And before we get started, you already know the slogan. If this is your first time here, please hit that like and subscribe button. For those who are returning, I truly, truly thank you. As you can see, different location. Hey, 4th of July weekend, had to get out and about. Just get away from just a change of environment. You know how it goes. So nevertheless, let's get into it. We are talking about the Shaad Season 2, Episode 2, titled "Oh Girl." A lot of stuff to get into. My overall theme for the second episode, I really think this is the episode, or maybe the season, perhaps, where we're realizing that it may just be better for people just to be single. I mean, first episode we already saw Keisha break up with a Christian, which I thought was probably the most respectful breakup you could ever see on TV. So already got that. In terms of the second episode, I think that once again there are a lot of people who just need to be single. Let's get right into that. We'll jump around to different storylines and not necessarily go in chronological order. For starters, I gotta go. Let's start with Jada and the homeboy Shaad, man. Jada, she definitely had the conversation with her homegirls first. It was conversation, having girl talk over some wine, and she confessed that she kissed Darnell, aka Mr. Bluetooth, and so she confessed with that, but she also did let them know that Shaad is great. Shaad is a great all-around boyfriend, great in the sheets, great with her plants, all that good jazz. But for whatever reason, she fell to temptation and she kissed her ex-husband, aka father of her child, all that type of stuff. I will give her credit. Of course, she came to the point to at least confess to Shaad while they were about to make out. Even, hey, just gotta let you know that I kissed Darnell. And of course, Shaad was offended, but apparently he did respect the honesty and still wants to fight for it and just all that stuff. But nah, I think overall, but one, I do believe that Jada should just not fall for the Darnell thing, because you even see where she's on the phone with him, letting him know that, hey, I told Shaad about us. You still want to work it out, this and the third. But the energy that she's giving Darnell is almost like Darnell still feel like he got a shot. I mean, you can't blame him. It's like you told him all that, but you're still kind of laughing at his jokes and all that other stuff. There's a difference between telling someone no in your tone, where that sounds kind of playful, entertaining, and then there's another side where you're just like, I ain't giving this dude the time of day, point blank, period, straight up. And she even said, it's like, every time I got my hopes up about you, you always let me down. So honestly, I don't think this is any different. And if you peep like the preview of episode 3, apparently old ass Donnell is sending out dick pics. So see how that goes. So yeah, I as much as a solid dude Shaad has been to her. Now, granted, of course, you got Emmett and stuff, being there for Jada, but who else was there? Shaad. Shaad was there the whole time Jada was battling cancer. So I really feel like she doing my guy wrong, and she either just needs to be single and let Shaad off gently, because she kind of wasting his time. He already trying to move in. You already put him that, pushed him away from that, which I understand. It's like, she went through a life-threatening experience. Maybe she just needs to enjoy some single life, especially after, get another chance at life after she, beat her battle with cancer. That's just my opinion. Let's move on to the next one. Of course, you got Tiff. Once again, I can't blame Tiff in the bigger scheme of things. She even said in this episode when she was doing Keisha's hair, it's like the moment Emmett wanted to start acting right, it was just a little too late. And I know we covered that already, but it's apparent, we definitely start off that episode at least with that storyline where Tiff is, um, I guess picking up her son from Emmett, and Emmett was also trying to show, be like a better father to not just him and Tiff's kids, but to all his kids. I thought that was pretty dope to see. I really did like that. But just getting back to that, she's already picking them up. She definitely told Emmett about her and Rob. I also told Emmett about, hey, you got to pick up our son. It's at a different location, so you make sure you leave early enough to do so. And apparently, that situation got a little, not ugly, a little awkward. Apparently, he's clearly late to the point to where Rob ends up having to pick up the son instead of Emmett. But all in all, just to keep the whole being single thing, she definitely has an interesting one-on-one talk with Rob, played by Iman Shumpert, and I do think Iman is doing a great job with it. But Iman, put all his cards on the table. It was like, look, I want to be exclusive. I want you to be mine. In both in a relationship way and sexually. I just want you all to myself. And I believe, as far as Tiff goes, she still has some type of, I guess, Pandora's box was kind of open ever since she explored that open relationship stuff from last season. So it's like she doesn't necessarily want to commit to Rob and consider themselves a couple, but at the same token, it's like, she really thinks that Rob is a stand-up dude, so. And I like the way Rob played it. Iman is killing the role. He simply put it like, look, I want you, you know where I stand, but at the same time, I ain't going to handcuff you. So you let me know if you want to be in these streets or if you just want to be in the house with me. So I thought that was cool. But apparently, I think she's still on the fence. And honestly, maybe it's too early for her just to jump into another relationship. You're not even divorced yet, technically, at least from, if we're tracking the show correctly. They haven't even covered some official divorce things. So maybe she should just take some time to herself and just enjoy some single life. And speaking of single life, we see that's where Emmett is going. Like, as I mentioned, Emmett is just trying to be an overall better person. Like I said, he's trying to take care of his kids. It's funny, he's looking at these inspirational social media videos by, I forget the character's name, but it's played by the hilarious D-Ray Davis, talking about, practicing celibacy, also just restraining from, masturbation, just any of that stuff, just really focusing on yourself. So that's the type of mission Emmett seems to be on. And so I do think that this seems to be the season of just being single and just trying to build for self, at least for most characters. Like I said, you got Keisha's who's focusing on college. Tiffany is torn between street life or home life with Rob. Jada has like a somewhat of a soft forming love triangle thing, and I think she needs to be single herself. And Emmett, like I said, I feel like he's trying to focus on himself also. But outside of the whole single life theory, the more interesting one, let's get into it, man. Q, and when they definitely picked up with Q and Duda, they stopped by Tracy's home. They definitely let Tracy know what the deal is in terms of how they want Chicago to be ran. Unfortunately, Tracy's foundations are kind of in jeopardy. She found out that the funding actually came through Q and Duda, and it's like, she's doing a positive thing. But if you've seen the previous seasons, you've seen how Q and Duda get down. So it's like she's doing something positive, but it's kind of like, making the deal with the devil in a sense. Because these guys, they're old school. They don't play no games. If you've seen the previous seasons, you know what I'm talking about. So that's quite the interesting thing. And I'm gonna be up front. I don't think it's a good idea. In terms of the Duda, Q, Tracy, and Trig storyline, I don't think it's a good idea for Trig to go ahead and run for city council. Once again, I do think Trig definitely had no problems, just going out and about with Imani. He wasn't keeping his relationship with Imani a secret. He's proud of being with that woman, all that type of stuff. And I I think it's dope. Once again, I appreciate the Shaad for showing, signs like that, because I feel like everyone in every walk of life deserves their time, you know, on TV, and not to just have certain things strictly for, the LGBTQ plus channels. So, but the reason why I don't think it's a good idea for Trig to run is because, one, we already got like a pretend girlfriend just for the image. Um, yes, the positive is that he did get his record cleaned up because he wants to run. But I feel like that there's so many. I think this will be an example of showing how so many people can be so ignorant and hateful to someone's relationship that I can see right now. The moment that Trig, or Victor, I should say, he's trying to do an image change. The moment Victor runs for city council, and then they see this pretend girlfriend on his arm, someone is going to, do their dirt, and they're going to try their best to shame Victor of his relationship with his girlfriend Imani. For those who are unfamiliar, Imani is a transgendered female, and I feel like because people can be so ignorant and so forth, I think someone would use that relationship that Victor has or had with Imani. They would try to use that against him, and I feel like that's the only reason why it would be a bad look. And for what it's worth, they'll probably use his checkered past as Trig, as this gangster dude who used to catch bodies. I feel like there's too much dirt that could be thrown at Victor for him to run. Once again, from a personal standpoint, I don't think it's anything wrong with the relationship that he has with Imani at all. But as I mentioned, for the sake of the show, or for the sake of the competitors who are running against Victor, I think they definitely would try to turn that relationship with Imani into a negative, just because you have so many ignorant people out there in the world who would frown upon that. So that's the only reason why I don't think it would fly, especially with dude that trying to push this fake girlfriend on. That's just me. But as I mentioned, I know I said in an earlier video that it seems like a lot of people should be single. But on the flip side, there are some hopes of positive relationships. I thought it was very cute with Shaad being smitten with this woman by the name of Doja. I thought his date was very tasteful. Had the wine. He had the fried shrimp Alfredo, which I never heard of. I might have to try that out. Got the fried shrimp Alfredo. He got the Moscato. He got the candles. And just from the energy that Doja was giving back, she's feeling him to the point to where you definitely see a second date in their future. And I guess I'll end the video with two things. We do get a new introduction of a new character in terms of Peaches, who apparently had battles with drugs and is Jake and Trig's estranged mother. So she's back into the picture, and they both are kind of hesitant. They're kind of hesitant about what to expect with Peaches coming back in their lives. So I'm interested to see where that goes. Hopefully, for Jake and Trig's, in hopes of Jake and Trig, hopefully things will turn for the better with Peaches returning, saying that she's off of drugs and she just wants to stay with him for a little while until she gets back on her feet. So we'll see where that goes. And just a minor thing, my final thought would be just to end it with, I wish they had a video game club when I was in high school. I thought that was pretty dope that the one teacher stepped up and said he would sponsor Kevin and his Kevin Lene's video game club for school. I think that would have been dope. And who knows? Maybe I'd be making millions of dollars playing video games if I got that early type of start in school. But overall, I like to live tweet a lot when it comes to shows like this, and I have seen people say stuff like, "Oh, the first season of the Shaad was the best." I'm not going to argue that the first season of the Shaad was the best, but I still do find the Shaad entertaining 5 seasons in. dope show. I'm loving the different storylines. I think the storyline I'm looking forward to the most. I'm still drawn to the, Emmett and Tiff storyline the most, followed by now seeing what's going to happen with Trig running for city council. And one final thought, I did forget. Pardon me. We did see like a minor run-in with Emmett and Rob. I think Emmett is more jealous than anything with Rob. Rob was the emergency pickup for the son since Emmett was late. Rob didn't necessarily take offense to the type of energy that Emmett was giving off. It's almost like he understands where he's coming from. But overall, Rob seems like a good dude. And I think if anything, Emmett is kind of more so just jealous of Tiff moving on so quick, which you can't blame him. So nevertheless, I'm looking forward to the next episode. Let me know what you guys thought about the review. Do you have any predictions for the next episode? I do predict, like I said, that Jada is going to break little Sway's heart. And I'll just leave it at that for right now. I feel like she is going to just go back to Darnell for some dumb reason. So let me know what you guys think. Love it or hate it, folks. These are just my opinions. Peace.